Hey guys, Panzer J back here in operation from Russia with love. We're up to turn number 12. 12.4 for Japan, January of 1942. So, a lot of interesting developments since Japan went on turn 11. The Russians went ahead and declared war on Germany, so now they're at war with both of the European Axis powers, Germany and Italy. So we'll see how that all plays out. Russia looking pretty strong right now. They got a bunch of forces there in the Middle East as well as on the Russian Polish border. So we'll see. Japan and Russia still maintaining friendly relations for the time being, although Japan is slightly worried that Russia's went ahead and stabbed one of our Axis partners in the back there. So we're going to have to go ahead and guard against any possible further Russian aggression. But again, we hope to maintain peaceful relations with the Soviet Union at this time. Okay, on to tech. So we're going to go for our 2 tech rolls. We got 2 techs sitting at stage 3, improved factory 7 or higher and improved construction 7 or higher. So let's go for the 2 of them. Improved factory 7 or higher, and a 6 misses, and improved construction. Oh, right off the board. And 11 does succeed. So we get 1 out of 2, but we do finish off improved construction. Actually, I kind of wanted improved factory, so that's going to affect the buy here a little bit. So we have 58 IPP to spend. We got convoyed for, I believe, 4. So let's see. We've got 2 artillery for 8, 2 infantry for 6. That's 14. We're finishing off a heavy cruiser, which is now only 4 because of improved construction. So that's up to 18. A destroyer for 6. That's 24. A marine for 4. That's 30, right? 8, 14, 18, 24, no, 28. 2 fighters for 20, that's 48. 2 infantry for 6, that's 54. A militia for 2, that's 56. And how about 1 more militia? So that'll finish us off. So I'll grab a second militia here, and that'll be our full 58. Okay, on to combat. So we've got 6, I believe. So the first one is going to be a walk-on. So Midway up here is currently undefended. So we're going to pick up this Marine on Wake Island and come up 1, 2, 3 and drop that Marine off on Midway. It's not worth anything, I don't believe. No, so no income increase there. Battle number 2 is going to be another walk-on. So this infantry in New Guinea is going to come over 1 to Dutch New Guinea, and that's worth $1. And then actually I don't have as many combats as I have down here, so we're not doing 3. So let's just shuffle these all around here. That's just a total of 5. Okay, so that was number 2, and we went up 1 for that. Then we've got a transport here in P-43. He's going to pick up this infantry from Guam and come down 1, 2 and drop that infantry off in Celebes. So that's another walk-on. So that's up to $2. Battle number 3, or actually 4, excuse me, is going to be here in Borneo. So there's a militia and a seaplane, but I believe the seaplane can only hit transports and submarines. So I don't believe the seaplane will get to fight this battle. So the Marine from Sarawak is going to come down 1. And then this destroyer over here in P-54 is going to come over 1, 2, 3 to C-Zone P-60 and drop that Marine off. So 2 Marines going against that militia. Let's put these guys over here. Battle number Actually, I did have one more battle. I got this all screwed up. Okay, so battle number 5 is going to be here in Sumatra. So there's a militia. So these transports here in I-11 are going to pick up the 2 Marines and the 2 infantry on Ceylon, the infantry from Siam, and when they come down here to I-12, they're going to pick up the artillery from British Malaya, and then come down to C-Zone, I-13, and 2 heavy cruisers are coming with them for shore bombard from I-11. And they're going to drop off, let's see, we're going to drop off 1 Marine in Sumatra. And then here in Borneo, or no, that's Java, excuse me. In Java, we're going to drop off the other Marine, 3 infantry, and 1 artillery. Let's see, is that correct? Actually, the 2 shore bombards from these heavy cruisers are going to be here in Java. Okay, so it's going to be 3 infantry, 1 Marine, 1 artillery, and 2 shore bombards with these heavy cruisers. Also going into Sumatra, besides the Marine that got dropped off, is this fighter from British Malaya 1-2. And finally, the last battle, I definitely didn't have these marked correctly. We've got these 2 light cruisers here in I-11 are going to come down 1, 2, 3. And we've got 1 of our 3 destroyers off of Sydney is going to come over 1, 2, 3 and engage that destroyer there in P61. I didn't ask Global War 36 enthusiast about the sub if he wants it to fight. There is a destroyer in the battle, so no first strike. I wouldn't think he would risk the sub. He's got just right now the 1 destroyer against 2 light cruisers and a destroyer, so I don't think he's going to. But if he wants to, we can go ahead and roll for that. Okay, so those are our 7 battles. So 1, 2, and 3 were all walk-ons. Midway, Dutch New Guinea, and Celebes. So that's up $2. So before I forget, let's just go ahead and mark Japan up 2 real quick to 48. Okay, so now let's get to rolling. I'll grab a dice tray, some dice here. Okay, so the first battle that we need to roll for is here in Borneo. So this destroyer dropped off a Marine, and then 1 Marine came over from Sarawak. So that's 2 Marines against a militia. So 2 2s against 1 2. Again, I do not believe the seaplane is involved, so I assume if I take this territory, the seaplane is just destroyed. Okay, 2 2s for the Marines. A 9 and a 5 miss. The militia, an 11 misses. 2 Marines at 2. We got a 1 and a 5, so we got 1 hit. Okay, the militia in return, a 10 misses. So we take Borneo, and again, I believe the seaplane just dies. So that's up 2 more. Okay, battle number 5 is here in Sumatra. So we've got a Marine attacking at a 2 and a fighter at a 6 against a single militia. So let's go ahead with our fighter first at a 6. And a 5 does hit. And the militia at a 2. 10 misses, thank the Lord. Okay, so we take Sumatra, and that's worth another 2, so we're up another 4. Okay, so the next battle, this one is definitely going to be kind of iffy, but I didn't really want to leave this territory and the units for the British. So we're going into Sumatra. They've got 2 infantry at 4s and 2 militia at 2s. Okay, and we are offloading with 3 infantry, 1 marine, and then the artillery if we can survive the first round, and 2 shore bombards with the heavy cruisers. So we get 2 heavy cruiser shore bombards at 2. We could really use one of these hits. So 2 2s. Yeah, a 2 and a 3. Okay, so clearly they'll lose a militia. So they're down to a militia and 2 infantry. Okay, so on this first round, we've got the 3 infantry and the 1 marine offloading. So 4 2s. Ooh, 3 3s and a 12. Damn. Okay, so no hits. So they're militia to 2, 6 misses, and 2 infantry at 4s. 5 and a 4. So I'll have to take the marine because I do not want to suffer double casualties. Okay, so now the artillery gets to offload. So we've got 3 infantry and an artillery. I do not believe the artillery suffers a jungle penalty. So the artillery and 1 of the infantry will be 3s, and then the other 2 infantry will be 2s. So first our 2 3s. Of course, where were all the 3s this turn? Okay, and the 2 2s. Both miss. Okay, the 2 infantry at 4s. 7 and a 6 miss, and their militia to 2. 4 misses. Okay, we've got a boosted infantry and artillery at 3. 2, so we get 1 hit. And 2 2s for the 2 regular infantry. And 8 and a 10, so they miss. Okay, so let's do their artillery who died at a 2. Whew, 3 misses. And they've got 2 4s left. 1 hit. Okay, so we'll lose another infantry. So we're down to 2 infantry and an artillery. Okay, so our 2 3s, a 2 and a 12, so there's 1 hit. And then our 1 2, 6 misses. Okay, they're 2 4s, 1 and a 6. We each get 1 hit. So they're down to an infantry, and I'm down to an infantry and an artillery. This is way closer than I'd like. Okay, the 2 3s, 10 and 11 both miss. The 4, 12 misses, thank you. 2 3s, yes, 3 and a 6. Okay, so we got our 1 hit. Their infantry, 4, of course he hits. Okay, so we're going to take... I guess we'll take the infantry. Okay, so we take Java with an artillery. So that's another 2. So 2, 4, 6. So that's all for territory. So let's just go ahead and bump that up right now while we're here. So from 48 to 54. Okay, and the last battle is the sea battle. So we've got 2 light cruisers and a destroyer against a destroyer. Okay, so the 2 light cruisers are 5s. And a 6 and an 8, they both miss. And the destroyer's a 4. 1 hits. Okay, so their destroyer in return, 10 misses. Okay, so we take out that destroyer. And that should be it for combat. So let's go ahead and do non-combat. We got a bunch of that. Okay, so let's take off this battle. Okay, so first let's fly our plane. So our plane here went 1 2 to Sumatra, 3 4 back to British Malaya. Then we've got this torpedo boat destroyer here in P53, and we are at a major base, so we can do movement of 3. So we're going to come down 1 2 3, and that should reinstitute our blockade of Sydney. We've got this fleet carrier with 2 fighters here in P53. That's going to come over 1 2 and join this fleet in P47. We've got these 3 ships here in P43, 2 heavy cruisers and a battle cruiser. They are going to come over 1 2 to P47 and join that fleet. Here in P16, we're going to have that entire fleet come down. So we've got 2 heavy battleships, an extra movement because of the major base. So 1, 2, 3. Same thing with the 2 regular battleships. And same thing with the light carrier with the fighter. So they're all there in P47. We've got strategic naval movement. So we have a strategic naval movement of 2. We can move 5. So we're going to take our 2 transports here in P72, and they're going to come up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to P50 and go in port there in the Philippines. I got 2 major ports in that same zone, but we'll just go into the major port there in the Philippines. And I think, and finally our 2 coastal subs here in P36, they're going to come over 1 to P37. So that should be it for non-combat. So on to unit placement, and this is going to be kind of goofy because I was hoping I was going to get improved factories, so I had stuff set up for those minor factories to produce 2 units apiece. Okay, so the Marine we're going to put in Tokyo. The destroyer and the heavy cruiser are going to go in P16, both in port there. Let's see. I guess we'll put 1 artillery in Sydney. One artillery in Kwangtung. 1 infantry in British Malaya. 1 fighter in Rihe. So that leaves us a fighter, 3 infantry, and 2 militia. 1 militia in Western Manchuria. I guess we'll do a fighter in Tokyo. And how about 3 infantry in Kyushu? So that should be it for Japan. We'll definitely do a unit recap here. I think, hopefully I didn't screw anything up. Like I said, I was really hoping to hit that improved factories. That really screwed me up there. Okay, so on to collect income. So we spent all 58. We are now up to 54 on the IPP tracker. So 54 plus, we still have all 6 territories in China worth an IPP, so that's up to 60. We've got, let's take a look over here. So we've got Borneo, Java, and British Malaya, all worth 2 apiece. So that's up to 66. We've got Midway, Wake, and Solomon, a buck apiece. That's up to 69. So I believe we are at 69. So 54 worth of IPP, 6 in China is 60, and 3 territories at 2 apiece, 66, and 3 territories at a buck apiece, that's 69. So we collect 69 IPP for next turn. Okay, so let's just do a unit recap. So over here, one last non-combat move. This torpedo boat destroyer in I-4. We're at a major base thanks to Germany there in Aden. It's going to come over 1, 2, 3 to C-Zone I-11. Okay, so now on to unit recap. So here in I-13, we've got 2 heavy cruisers and 3 naval transports. In P61, we've got 2 light cruisers and a destroyer. In P60, we have a destroyer. In P51, we have a naval transport. In P50, we have 2 naval transports in port in the Philippines. There's a Marine on Sumatra. There's an artillery on Java. There's 2 Marines on Borneo. There's a Marine and a seaplane on the Philippines. There's an infantry on Celebes. There is an infantry and a fighter in British Malaya. There's a militia each in Anatonkin, Cochin China, and Siam. A torpedo boat destroyer in I-11. In China, we've got a militia in Shenxi, Hopei, Hunan, Shantung, and Qinghai. Also a militia in Peking. An infantry in Suyan, a militia and an infantry in Nanking, a militia in Formosa, a militia each in northern, western, and eastern Manchuria, a militia in Korea. Rihe has 3 cavalry, 2 motorized infantry, a militia, and a fighter. Kwangtung has a militia, 2 mountain infantry, 12 infantry, and an artillery. What is this one? New South Wales has an artillery, 7 Marines, and 2 tacticals. Seazone P-72 has 2 destroyers and a torpedo boat destroyer. Kyushu has 3 infantry. Tokyo has a fighter and a Marine. There's a heavy cruiser and a destroyer in port in P-16. A Marine on Midway, a destroyer in P-22. 2 coastal subs in P-37. The Marshall Islands has 2 Marines and a militia. And in Seazone P-47, we've got 4 regular battleships, 2 heavy battleships, 2 light carriers, 1 with a tactical, 1 with a fighter, a fleet carrier with 2 fighters, a naval transport, a torpedo boat destroyer, a battle cruiser, 2 heavy cruisers, and 4 fleet submarines. So that should cover Japan here on turn number 12. So I'll turn things over now to Global War 36 enthusiast for UK France.